Right, hello everyone. Guided reading, 23rd of February. Morello is immersion in a non-chronological text. So, our text this week is all about modern slavery. Not very pleasant, but it does happen. And here are some vocab definitions. You may need these words. Slavery, trafficked, plantation, and immigration. So slavery is where a person has unfair power over someone else and forces them to work. It used to be actually owning someone, but we've extended the meaning of having power, because that can be as bad as actually owning someone. In ancient Greek and Roman times, it was owning someone. Okay? Now, trafficked. That's being moved by someone from one place to another so they can force you to work. So someone having power over someone else and moving them so they can force them to do something they don't want to, usually work. Plantation. Well, that's a large farmer estate where coffee, sugar, and other crops are grown. Also tobacco. Immigration, probably the simplest one here, coming into a country from somewhere else. The opposite, emigration, is going out. Right. Here is the text. Introduction. As slavery, owning another human being, is illegal throughout the world, you would have thought that it is no longer a problem. You would be wrong. In 2014, there are an estimated 40 million people who are considered to be in one form of slavery or another. They could be found in such faraway places as Brazil and Nigeria. Last year in Britain, around 10,000 people were identified as being victims of some sort of modern slavery. While this doesn't mean they all lived in chains like in ancient Roman times, these are still people who are not free and are living in fear. So, what does modern slavery look like? Most of the people who suffer from modern slavery are forced to work for no pay. Many are moved or trafficked from the poorer places where they live to somewhere else. They're promised a good job with good wages. When they get there, they find there's no job and they have to work for nothing to pay the people who traffic them. They often live in poor housing with very little food or money. These slaves can be found all around the world. Many are in the richer countries and are not even noticed. So how are children affected? That's quite interesting. Around 1 in 4 of every modern day slave is a child. There are many reasons why this happens. It can be because their families are poor and they and their families have to work in dangerous jobs on farms and plantations or in factories. It can be because they and their families have had to move due to war or famine and end up owing money to criminal gangs. Also, slavery can happen because parents are so poor that they sell their children off to work as they cannot keep them fed. Slavery can also occur when gangs recruit young children to work for them. What can we do about this? There are many organisations which make it their job to tackle modern slavery. In the UK, the Police and the Immigration Service, as well as the NSPCC and the Church of England, all work to end this problem. Equally, there are many international organisations like the UN, the United Nations, who work hard to end slavery. All of them agree that modern slavery is a curse and must be stopped. They deserve our help and support. So next time you pick up a cheap t-shirt or cup of coffee, you might want to ask yourself, was a modern slave involved in making this? Okay, so questions to think about coming next. Okay, you don't have to answer these questions in written form, but I want you to think about them as you reread the text. How does the writer use subheadings? Okay, what's different about the subheadings they use? Does the writer show an opinion? Is there any part of the passage of the text where the writer is actually giving an opinion rather than just presenting facts? Does the writer make you think? Have they succeeded in making you think about this issue? And lastly, what do you think of all this? What do you think about it? What's your opinion? Okay, everyone, have a reread, have a think about the questions, and we'll move on to comprehension tomorrow.